I got to introduce this lady. Woo-hoo-hoo! I am super happy to actually have her back as far as with me today. Of course, on my other show, I actually interviewed her from the Heart of Hollywood magazine. And of course, I definitely got to have you back here on the Rico No Suave talk show. This beautiful lady, I should say, she has the ability to produce, to be able to act, and just be very joyous in regards to showing her passion. She had worked with a lot of great people, and she's definitely going to tell you her story today. And of course, we are going to show some of her work throughout the show. I want you guys to stand up if you want to screenwrite, whatever you want to do. I want you guys to put your hands together for none other than Jacqueline Murphy. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Got to make sure we're able to hear her. Jacqueline, are you there?
I am here. Happy to be here. Woohoo!
How you doing, love?
Everybody for tuning in. I'm doing great. Yeah.
I am loving this. Thank you so much for that. But today is about you, love, and we're going to get right into it because I want everybody and their grandmother to know about you on the Rico No Suave show. Pursuing to be an actress, love, is always a journey. But we want to know, the fans want to know, can you share your journey as becoming an actress?
Sure, I'd love to. I may have mentioned on the last interview, Rico, I always wanted to be an actress ever since I was a young child, and I would drag my 5 brothers and sisters out into the yard, and we would recreate movies that I fell in love with, especially old-time classic movies. I got my RN degree so I could support myself, and I liked helping people. From there, I moved into the city, and I was cast and discovered by ABC and began to play Nurse Thomas on All My Children. And then from there, I went on to all the other soap operas, segued into Law and Orders, did some films, and in 2017, I created my own film that I wrote, produced, directed, and starred in called The Admired, about an actress who makes a Faustian deal with the devil to time travel back to 1940s Hollywood as a big movie star. And I did it because I loved it, but we just happened to win 50 awards on the film festival circuit. And I was also on the Television Academy's ballot for Emmy nomination.
Nice.
Fast forward, this year, I had the opportunity to work with a very talented Latin director, producer, filmmaker, Carlos Marino Jr. He was working on a show called Pepito's America. And Pepito is a beloved Mexican character who's a bit of a hustler, prankster, and he comes to LA with dreams of making it big here. And he meets my character, Miriam Price, who's running for mayor of LA. And he becomes an overnight sensation when my financial donors, Tommy Chong from Cheech Chong and his beautiful wife, Shelby, in the show, they play my big time donors, just take him on and say, we're going to introduce you to Ron Howard and Steven Spielberg. So we had a lot of fun with that. And we were also on the For Your Consideration ballot this year.
Nice.
So it's been wonderful. And I feel very blessed and happy to be here tonight. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Now, of course, I'm going to commend you because every time you say some great names or just names in general, because I know they're very special to you. Now, you said Steven Spielberg. You said that name. You said Ron Howard as well. Were you also working side by side with them as well?
Back, I think in 1990 something, I had a part on the paper and Ron Howard was the director. And they had cast me as a nurse, and nice. I had scenes with Michael Keaton and Marisa Tomei, and Glenn Close was in the movie. And one scene, Marisa Tomei is having the baby with that Michael Keaton plays her husband. And I looked at Ron Howard, he was directing, and I said, wouldn't I say this betadine is going to be cold when I put it on her stomach in the OR? And he goes, yeah. We break for lunch, we come back. the scene is out of order. Now we're rushing Marissa into the OR to have the baby. And Ron looks at me and he says, Jacqueline, say anything you want. And it was really a touching, amazing experience for me because I felt so acknowledged. And I felt that he appreciated the authenticity of what I was saying as the nurse in character. And then I was invited to the premiere, and it was just a wonderful experience. And so I have had the opportunity to work with various name directors, actors, and it's a blessing. But the biggest blessing is to be here and healthy and continue the creativity and meeting new people and keep growing as an actor and a person.
I love that. I love that. Because the past is always good for the future and where you're at right now, there are times in your journey where you get nervous by meeting certain people. Now, of course, I don't want to spill the beans. But what I will say is that through your career, you were able to meet some really famous actors coming up as well. What was your life like during that time of you meeting those people for the first time? Because when you were coming up, you actually were just connecting. You have this glow about you to make people just come to you and say, hey, would you like to be in a movie? What were some of those people that actually asked you to be in some of their movies?
My first speaking role, I was in a movie around the corner from my apartment on 72nd and 2nd in New York City. And it was directed by Ivan Reitman. He directed Ghostbusters. And he came over to me and he said, young lady, I'd like you to be the co-check girl opposite Robert Redford in the scene. And Rico, my heart was like going a mile a minute. Oh my God, Robert Redford, what do I say to him? He's a matinee idol, a huge star. And I had gone to acting school at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And in the hallway, when you walk in, they had pictures of all the big stars that had graduated, and Robert Redford's picture was there.
Wow.
And so I thought, oh, I know. I'll say I'm an alumni. We both have something in common. We both went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. So I went to do the scene, and I met him, and he couldn't be more charming. He had that handsome Robert Redford smile.
Yes.
And I said, so nice to meet you. I think we have something in common. And he looked at me, he was interested, and I said, we both went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. And we talked a little bit, and then we did the scene. And Ivan Reitman, the director, this was my first big scene. And he was like Papa Bear. He said, nice. Okay, now we're going to do the close-up on Robert first. Come on over here and hug the camera. So the camera was here, and I had to get real close to it so that the eye line would be good. Actors out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I was flying high, and I went home on my lunch hour, and I called my mom and my grandmother, and I said, you're never going to believe this. My first speaking part was opposite Robert Redford. So that was huge for me. And
I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm just super excited because every time you say Robert Redford, I get excited. And I have to say, to be able to have your first speaking voice or speaking in a film with Robert Redford, that doesn't happen very often. That doesn't happen to a lot of people. I have to say that you are a gem because it's a magnetic field that you actually have that source to be able to bring Robert Redford to be able to be that close to you on the first one. I like that.
Oh, that's so sweet. And then just the next speaking part, we were shooting at John F. Kennedy Airport for 3 Men and a Baby. And I don't know if you've watched that movie, Rico, but it had Ted Danson, Steve Guttenberg, and Tom Selleck. Mm-hmm. And Leonard Nimoy was directing it. Now, we all know Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek.
Yes.
And he came over to me, and I was reading a play. I was just studying for my acting class. And again, he said, young lady, I want to try something, because I was dressed in a stewardess outfit. And he said, you're the stewardess. The three guys are going to run up to you and say, Miss, Flight 176. And all you have to say is, it's right there, but it just left. And Rico, my heart's beating a mile a minute. And I'm thinking, I hope to heck he likes this, because this is iconic to be in a Leonard Nimoy directed film with these three hunky guys.
Yeah.
So we literally, he auditioned me on the spot. We did the rehearsal. The next thing he goes, okay, let's shoot this right then and there. We shoot it. It's one take. We're done and dusted. And the guys were amazing. I have pictures of myself in my British Airways stewardess costume with Tom Selleck, Ted Danson, and Steve Guttenberg.
Wow.
So I have a lot of great memories like that, and looking forward to many more.
I have to say, Ted Danson, I like Ted Danson. He's cool. I never met him, but I just feel he's a cool guy. Forget about it. I feel like Ted Danson is just that guy. Did you ever get a chance to like keep in communication as far as with any of those actors as well?
Steve Guttenberg, where I'm friendly with a mentor of mine at Warner Brothers, who's a producer, who's actually recommended me for several other films. Run All Night, he recommended me for, I had a small part opposite Liam Neeson and Ed Harris. His name is Mike Tadros, and he's known throughout the business. I met him when I had a small part opposite Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Nice.
And so he was friendly with Steve. And then so we were at a party together and we reconnected. And I run into them from time to time. Tom Selleck is on Blue Bloods in New York. And I ran into a New York restaurant, and I went over and I said hi, and they're always so sweet.
Nice.
And even Robert Redford, I went to Sundance in 2013 for my first time. And I was sitting in Robert's restaurant called Zoom in Sundance. And he came in, and I was at the table with a producer from, at the time, from Access Hollywood, and my girlfriend who's in the business. And I said, hi, we met many years ago on Legal Eagles, and charming as ever. So you do, Rico, run into these people time and time again. And they're really always very nice and cordial. And my favorite story, I think you'll like this one. I had a part in Goodfellas, and Marty Scorsese was the director. And it was opposite Robert Redford, Robert De Niro, Julie Garfield, Lorraine Bracco, and Ray Liotta. Wow. And I played a nurse bringing the baby in. And De Niro comes over the day of the shoot, extends his hand, and he says, hi, I'm Bobby De Niro. And I smiled and I said, yes, I know who you are. So nice to meet you. I was doing the red carpet circuit for The Admired back in 2017-18, and Marty Scorsese had a film, a religious film that opened up with Liam Neeson and Andrew Garfield. And it was at the Directors Guild. And I went over to him, and my husband was standing there, and he took a photo, but we had a conversation. And Marty is so warm. He grabbed my hand. And Fred, my husband, said to me after, he said, oh my God, it's like you two were old friends. But there were fond memories, because he would always have his mother, Catherine, and his father, Charles, in little cameos in all his movies. And I had the pleasure of meeting them. Your history follows you. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
I always try to be the best person that I can be.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun ride.
That's a heck of a ride. I want to say, having that type of a ride, Jacqueline, is beautiful. I cannot tell you, as far as I can hear this story over and over again and just be so proud of you. I have to say, it's like more of an inspiration of being able to meet the right people at the right time, but in a positive vibe, though. The vibe was just so good every time you met each one of the celebrities, right? Or actors, or even just people just producing and things like that.
talking about relationships, we have Dr. Carl here today, and I got to plug this.
You got to pull a book up. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Is this good? Are you seeing this?
There it is, right there. Boom.
Book,
Yes.
and it's fantastic. My Rise from the Wise Guys. Check it out. It's on Amazon, and I want him to make it into a TV series, of course, so that I could be in it. I have my good friend Raquel, who was an actress on Pepito's America here. So supportive, the best gal you'll ever want to meet. She's become one of my best friends. And I see my friend Mike Cregan here, who is a very talented screenwriter. So whoever I don't see, thank you all for showing up. But now back to your question. What did you ask, Rico?
How tall he was. That's all. Liam, I was just asking how tall he was. No.
Okay, you like that story a lot. He's very tall. I think he's 6'2", 6'3".
Wow.
And we shot the scene. It was a Christmas scene in October on a really hot day. It was like 90 degrees. And he's wearing a Santa Claus outfit. And he's a drunken Santa Claus who's involved with the mafia. We're at Ed Harris's home, and I'm a wife of one of the guys, and he couldn't have been more charming. And so I make some comic comments about him being drunk. And so we shoot the scene. He was such a gentleman. He waited to say goodbye to all of us outside. And fast forward 2 weeks later, I'm wearing my Warner Brothers Run All Night cap in Central Park, and I'm riding my bike. And I hear this Irish lilt. And I thought, oh my God, that sounds like Liam's voice. And I thought, am I going to bother him? This is his private time. And so I thought, this is too coincidental. So I stopped the bike and I say, hi, Liam. And he looks at me. He said, hi. And he said, oh, I have to go back to the mess tonight. We're shooting in Queens. And he couldn't have been nicer. He has an energy that is so expansive and giving and handsome. The girls like him. And he is a little bit of a ladies' man.
I'm sure they do.
And you can see why he's a star. But you take a look at Schindler's List. I couldn't leave the theater for a half hour after that. That was directed by Spielberg. I was in tears, so incredibly moved. His talent goes beyond the realm of what normal talent is. He's a star. He has a depth that I only hope that I can reach at some point in my life.
Yeah, I like that. Just by listening to the passion that you love for acting, but also being in film and also movies. I'm a movie buff as well, too, and I love to see the passion that you actually have for what you love to do. But it also comes with you building a legacy for yourself. You're building a lot of great memories with people that really needs to stay in touch with you. And I really hope that, of course, and it will happen, that you are taking off. You're definitely taking off. And I think this is one thing, no pun intended, this is what I admire about you in regards to what you do as an actress and also as a producer, by including a lot of other people that's involved with going through the journey that you're going through. The one thing that I would love to know about you, when it came to reading your script, do you ever, you know how people get writer's block? Do you ever get, is it called a screenwriter block, or do you ever get a block? Actor's block or whatever?
So you asking if I freeze as an actor sometimes?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, it happens. I think the remedy for that is to really know the lines, but on top of it, really know what you're doing in every line. What's my action here? What am I pursuing? What do I want? And then trusting not to rush it. Just slow down and let the audience come to you and really feel what you're feeling. And that's a constant battle that I'm always working on, is because my mind works very fast. And it's just slow down and let them experience you, and don't jump to the next moment until, you know, it's time. But on the other hand, you're not going to sit there and milk something if it's a comedy and you have to pick up your cues.
Right.
And then sometimes it can be a little daunting if you're auditioning for a big film and you know who the stars were. But I recently did my best audition. Kiefer Sutherland was up for the role opposite me in a movie. And I really prepared. And I just got very quiet. And I didn't put any makeup on because the role called for that. It was a widow wife of a cop who had gotten killed on duty. And I thought, that's what I need to do. So my advice to any actors that are out there, watch your tapes, watch your self-tapes, critique it. You know when you're on, when you're overdoing it, when you're telling the truth, and when you're there, and when you're overacting. And I was just discussing that with my husband today because I always strive to be better. And the funny thing is, Carl just said, let's get writing on that movie.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's so funny. Okay, so this could be like, wait, do we see this? Yeah. This could be.
My Rise from the Wise Guys.
All right, I have firsthand experience being a New York girl.
Awesome.
And it's a great book. Yeah.
All right, my love. It's about your time, 8:30, 7:30 my time. It's about that commercial break right about now. Everybody, if you already know, we got my girl. Yes, we got my girl, Jacqueline Murphy, the actor and producer here with us. All right, everybody, want to take a quick commercial break? We'll be right back. Here we go.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jack, hey, love,
yeah.
are you still with me?
I'm totally here.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm
so happy.
Rico.
I'm so happy about your lifestyle. I'm so happy that I'm here. And yes, salud. Salud, love. Yes. Salud. I'm so glad that, you're the love and what you have as far as your passion, which brings me to the next question, right? And we're going to actually talk a little bit about, you know what? I like to modify things sometimes because I really want them to know what type of skills you have. And I think we're going to play your demo reel. You want to do your demo reel? Let's do your demo reel.
Sure. Why not? I'd love to know what they think.
Let's roll that demo reel, everybody. This is Jacqueline Murphy. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's go.
There's lots of room when they speak me.
Pretty sure Santa is now on the naughty list. Pretty sure Santa is now on the naughty list. Santa had a little too much rum in his eggnog. They have steak at the bar. Guess what?
You told me that role was written for me.
There's nothing more to be discussed. The deal is done. But if you still want to work on the picture, I can offer you the role of the mother.
What?
Besides, you're not getting any younger.
How dare you? You don't know anything, Sam.
I'd take any role I was offered.
No, it's not okay.
What's insulting is that it was a condition of continued employment. Change your personality, become more feminine, or get fired.
Everybody hated her. We have affidavits from coworkers that specifically state.
And we have affidavits that she was effective, tough, and successful. Next, the news in 5. Mexican authorities have no leads, and the investigation continues. Up next, with some breaking news about the earthquake in India, and some photos of the new Yankee Stadium. That and the news in 5.
You know what I think? I think you should steal him back.
That would teach Janny a lesson.
Her campaign besieged by controversy and evil, Democrat Cynthia Nightingale has dropped out of the presidential race.
I wish I were back in the 40s when the studio made you a movie star, like Veronica Lake. I love those glamorous old Hollywood movies.
They outweighed him by about 50 pounds each.
I'll give you my decision tomorrow. How does this work for my calendar, Miss Trudeau?
9 a.m., Judge.
Stay focused. You're almost done. Breathe. Okay, good.
Surely you could do better than this.
Come on, sunshine. It's game time. Squad's waiting.
I'm lost for words.
It's game time.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what? It's just, you bring so much like different type of roles where people want to see what you're going to be able to do next. That's what I love about you acting. But let's talk about in that demo reel. Everybody, if you love that reel, please make sure you show your love. make sure you already know, just tell us exactly what you thought about. And if you have a movie that's coming up and you want her to be in it, we'll have that information for you. But you already know Jacqueline Murphy, the beautiful actress, and also the producers with us today. Your projects that you worked on in the past, and you have different movies that you worked on, which ones have been memorable for you and ones that you're really proud of that you can share with the audience?
Carlos Marino Jr.'s Pepitos America, which I just did, I feel, shed a light on Latin culture and told a beautiful story about coming to this country where in America anything can happen. And he meets my character and things do start to happen for him, which segues into my philosophy of why I wrote The Admired. It's about going for your dreams. So one of my big messages is to empower everybody that I come in contact with to go for your dreams and don't be afraid to try things. It is scary and you pay a price for it, but just keep going. Not every day is the best day, and some days are amazing days and you have to pinch yourself. But if you have a dream, start somewhere and just believe in yourself and keep going because it will happen. So playing Miriam Price, running for Councilwoman of LA, it was a pinch me moment sitting there with my friends, Tommy and Shelby Chong and Carlos, and we were like, oh my God, this is really happening. And it helped to having a star name like Tommy helped to raise the profile of our show. And when we submitted it to the Television Academy, we had actors like Ken Davidian from Borat that were part of it. And it just helps your credibility. But you have to have the good acting and the goods. I'm excited about this script that I just wrote about having been a nurse in the 90s when the opioid crisis hit. And the gist of that is there are a lot of people that get addicted to opioids and drugs. And I want to shed some light on that and hopefully maybe show a way that there's another way to live based on my personal experiences of having been a nurse. And then the best thing happened to me last week. Talk about things that are unexpected. I was honored by Vicki Schneps from Schneps Media and Dan's Paper as Power Woman of the East End of Long Island. And for my screenwriting, directing, writing, and producing. And this is my newest trophy here.
Nice.
And I show it to you because I just want to encourage people that anything can happen, even when you don't expect it.
Yes. Yes.
So, and then this is the poster that they made for me, which was awesome. They made it for other honorees as well. It's hard to get this.
It's okay.
Right. I think I'm feeling
we can
very
see it in the back
here somehow. Yeah. So gifts come to you in unexpected ways. I did not expect to get that honor. And I met so many amazing people there. And so you never know when you're going to meet someone that you'll work with. I met Carlos on the red carpet when I was on the FYC for The Admired. And he was an actor in Coco. And that won the Oscar that year. And Carl, I was doing an interview and he was on the show. And so I met him, and Raquel, I met from the Television Academy. My friend Mike Cregan, who's a screenwriter, I was involved in a screenwriting group. So you never know who you're going to meet that you can work with. And look at you. We could do the Jacko and Rico show.
Woo, hey, that might be a spinoff. That might be good.
Jacko and Rico, go wacko.
I like that. Hey, we might have to talk about that. We haven't talked about that offline. I don't want nobody else trying to steal our names.
All right, that's
I like that.
And we got to copyright that.
That's right. The one thing that I love about what you're talking about here is, once again, it still comes back to how people admire you when they first talk to you as well. And I think that's one of the biggest things about being memorable, right, over time, but also you actually working on these projects to be able to meet great people as well. And also they know your skills. They feel your skills through your passion, because it's almost like you're being your natural self, even on camera, but also off camera as well. And I think that's what people really love, that, hey, you're just not acting, but this is who you are as a person, being humble. The one thing that I do want to commend you on is the community that we help, and to be able to build, to be able to make it better. You brought out what we call the opioid, right? The drug, right? That actually is killing people across America, across the world, I should say, not just America, but across the world. And by you bringing that out and actually showing what people are actually going through, is to help prevent people from going down that route as well. And I think that's such a great thing that you're doing, to be able to say, how can we help, instead of not being able to hurt anymore. So I commend you in regards to that.
Thank you, Rico. Yeah, I think that there's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing someone you love get caught up in that cycle, whether it be alcohol or drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And being the eldest of 6, I always looked after my siblings, and I still do to this day. I care about them. I make them go for their hard exams and all, whatever, when they know to go. But I just I let them know that I care. So it is like a part of who I am. And I think when you access the part of you that you can write about and share, and maybe move someone, if you're lucky enough. I don't want to presume what I write can move anybody, but I only hope to make a difference somehow.
Gotcha. I just love talking to you. And I think we talked about this, man. We could talk for hours, right? And just have a great time. But I do want to say, Pepitos America's checking in. Thank you so much for checking in. Hello, Carl. Of course, I have to show you some love. I did receive your book. Thank you so much as well, too. Mike Cregan, thank you so much for tuning in. Patrick Chula is checking in as well, too. What's up, Patrick Chula? John T. for free is checking in. Steve Applebaum is checking in. How's it going, everybody? Thank you guys so much. And everybody else that's actually checking in, thank you guys so much. And yes, Raquel is checking in. I know we gave her some love. Hello, Raquel. Thank you so much for checking back in with us. Yes. Jacqueline, are you having a good time or what?
Oh, I'm having a blast. And I love the music you started your show with. It's just like really good Latin dance music. Carlos knows that I love Latin dance. That's my groove. A Latin dance teacher, right, Rico?
I am. Yes. I teach salsa. Yes, I do teach salsa and cha. So that's something that I love to actually teach. It just keeps the blood flowing, and I'm just burning calories as I go.
Go.
We're down close to 10 minutes of our fame love for today. See, time is flying by fast because we just having a great time. The movie that admired. What was behind that movie? How did you come up with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was a young girl, I used to watch old-time movies with my mom, and I fell in love with Veronica Lake and her peekaboo hair, and just a lot of the old-time movie stars. And so I was working on a film called Fake with Lynn Newton, a filmmaker, and it was about the South, and I was a beauty queen. And I said, Lynn, I think it would be great if you played an Ella Fitzgerald character to my Veronica Lake character. And we just started developing it. And so it took a shift about Olivia, the main character of The Admired, is a frustrated actress who's down and out in LA. And there are a lot of us.
Yeah.
And she makes a Faustian deal with the devil to be able to get her wish to time travel back to 1940s Hollywood as a big movie star. And she gets that. but then she's hurtled into danger and all is not what she thought it was going to be. And she's relying on the devil to get the tarot card to travel back to her real life. So fast forward from this, I've written a feature called Sorceress of Hollywood, where Olivia realizes she has a hidden genetic talent for magic, and she herself can create what she wants, but there's a price for that too. When you're a creative person, it's just endless. If you allow yourself the time to come up with these ideas, but you also have to have the skills. I spent years honing my craft. I took a feature film writing class at Screenwriting U with Hal Grossman. Another year with him on binge-worthy TV because I knew TV was going to be big. And now with the streamers, most people watch that rather than going to a movie.
Yeah.
And I got into 2 Sundance labs, one for TV pilot writing and the other for fantasy and science fiction, which is where I veer off a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's important. You may have dreams, but then back it up with the skills so that you can help yourself to make it happen. So that's really, it was out of watching movies with my mom that I really fell in love with old Hollywood. And I wanted to be a big star, like Veronica Lake and Rita Hayworth and Gilda and all those iconic, beautiful actresses you see when you walk down Hollywood Boulevard. They have their stars there. So
I love it, man. I love it. I've always, and I love talk shows, of course, and I've always wanted to be a talk show host, but always to be able to listen to what passion is about in others. And I can definitely feel that with you. The one thing I've always felt in regards to when I first did the interview as far as with you and just talking to you in general is that you have that, we talked about the nurse. Remember the nurse. You're that nurse that wants to heal the world. I don't think that's ever going to leave you because when someone connects with you, it's like you have this nurturing nurse that's so positive that people love to actually just have you in the films to play those great roles that you are all automatically fit for naturally. And I think that's what I really love about it because we say nurses are like the heroes. You've always been the heroes to be able to help and nurture, to be able to help people from getting sick to get well. But I think also what you're doing is you knew what your dream is, you knew what your dream was, and also your mom was that nurse for you to be able to say, you're going to get there. You're definitely going to get there. And that's one thing that I think in your bloodline, you always know that there's something that you can do to be able to help people, and also karma is there to help you in a good way. So I do congratulate you on that. I really feel your passion, and I really love it because it hits home to me to know that even when you're ready to prepare for something or you're ready to actually work with other people, you're there to work as a team to blow it all up. That's what I love about it. Let's go.
It's so true. That's so true. And it's funny, my mom was an artist. You were showing the paintings of the Chicago artists, which I love that you did that. And she could hear any song and then go to the piano and play it, where I took a couple years of piano lessons, but I had to read the music. And she always encouraged me, but she said, you can do what you want, you should do what you want, but make sure you can support yourself because I don't want you to have to suffer like me. Yeah. And she was the mom of 6 kids, and she just gave me so many gifts, and I'm so grateful for her. And she is my inspiration, along with my husband and my family. But I feel so blessed to have a mom that encouraged me to be creative, and we did so many beautiful things together.
Yeah.
And one thing I do want to say, we can pivot at any point in our life.
Yep.
The paper wrote about me, Dan's paper. And I had started out as a young nurse. I had my RN at 19, and I worked with disabled children on Long Island. And I moved to New York and worked at various hospitals and found my way to be able to afford acting school because of that, and then broke in because on my resume I had that I was a nurse and started playing nurses on film and TV.
Yeah.
But the point is that dream was so strong for me, Rico, that I pivoted, and it took me a long time. It took me 10, 15 years to really do it.
Wow.
But we can all pivot, and you can go from a job that's hard and difficult and gratifying to something you really love. But you have to be willing to learn what you need to learn and keep believing. Yeah.
I like that. I like that. One thing that you did hit that I loved is that things tend to pivot, but then being able to say, can you handle it for quite some time to be able to pivot? I do give some really great insight with people to say, hey, to people, I should say, that if you tend to find your talent or you tend to find multiple talents, make sure you take those talents and be serious with it, right? If you're going to actually have that talent, make sure you take that talent, go with that talent, see if it works. If that other talent also helps to connect the dots to make you stronger, to also make you better as a person, go with it. So don't just do it just for the time being. Do it for the long run. Do it for the long run because the karma will be on your side to make you successful and at one point in time. So that's what I love about the pivot that you said.
Yeah, and I have to give it, thank you. Yeah. And I have to give a shout out to Carlos Marino Jr. from Pepitos America because he is so accomplished. This guy edits, writes, directs, and is a superb actor.
Yes.
But when he saw that I was bringing in talent like Tommy Chong and Ken Davidian, he was down with giving me the producer's credit. He rewarded me for that.
Awesome.
When he saw that I could write a scene for Ken Davidian as the Armenian councilman, because Ken represents the Armenian community out in LA, and bring more colors to Pepitos America and show different cultures, he's go for it. And also he allowed me to direct one of the episodes with him. So it's a blessing when people see that, okay, let me give her a shot. And then, as you say, Rico, but you want to give them all you can because they're giving you that chance.
Yes.
So thank you, Carlos. And thank you for bringing up these great topics, Rico, because I learn about myself when we have this kind of a chat.
Good. And I'm glad because that makes me feel good in regards to how you are. And one thing, the way that you are brings me to this next point because we only got a few more minutes of fame, just 3 more minutes, love. I do have something for you.
You do?
I do.
Oh, my goodness. Huh? Oh, whoa.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, that is awesome.
This is for you, love. This is for you. And the reason why I say this is because, let me get it around my microphone, make sure I do it properly.
Yeah.
So this here is from you starting off, laying on your mom's shoulder, laying on your mom's lap, watching old movies, but also making your lifestyle start from just wanting to be that actress, want to be in Hollywood, and also for you to actually go into acting and saying, hey, I want to be natural and I want people to pick me up as this natural person that I love to actually be with my passion, but also work hard behind it as well too with your struggles. The shirt represents you as an actress of being able to get that trophy, right? Being able to get that award, I should say, of an accomplishment that people has been watching you and saying it's your time to be able to have that great power as a woman. Right? And acting as well, too. I got to give a big shout out to Fred because Fred has also been there to be able to help you
Fred,
along the way as well. And I know he's going to love this. I love Fred, too. Right? I love Fred, too.
Carlos loves Fred, too.
And Carlos loves...
Oh, yeah.
Everybody loves Fred.
Come say hello.
So I want to welcome you to the Rico Suave show. Thank you so much, love. Let's go.
what I love when I think of you, Rico, it's just smooth. Like Suave to me is just smooth. So
No Suave, baby. No Suave.
yeah, it's just so good. I've enjoyed every second, and thank you for this shirt. I can't wait to wear it.
Yes.
And for the amazing conversation and bringing all my friends together here.
Thank you.
Someone just wanted to see Carl's book one more time. So
Yes. My Rise from the Wise Guys, baby.
My hand. There we go. There we go.
So I do want to put up your social media before I let you go, my love.
Yes.
So we got to put up your social media. So the first one is Facebook, Jacqueline Murphy fan. Make sure you go to our fan page, everybody. You can type it all out, Jacqueline Murphy fan. Make sure you go ahead and put that in now and go and like her page. Here's the next one. Boom. Yes, at Jacqueline Murphy 13. So make sure you go ahead and put that into Instagram and follow her on Instagram. Here's the next one, everybody. Oh, yeah, at Jacqueline Murphy Actress on YouTube. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to her YouTube page, everybody. Make sure you go ahead and do that now. Follow her so when she put up some new videos or anything that you might want to see, it'll notify you. Make sure you click on that notification button. All right, last but not least, we have the website, JacquelineMurphy.net. Yes, everything you need to know about her, trust me, will be on that website there. So make sure you go ahead and support her. Jacqueline, it's been beautiful, my love. It's been beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I had such a great time.
Carl says, you and I are as smooth as silk.
I thought he was going to say butter. But I like silk too.
Smooth like silk.
That's right. All right, my love. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'll see you soon. Everybody put your hands together for Jacqueline Murphy if you're at home. Yes. All right, my love. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you so much, Rico. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
All right, everybody. That was my girl, Jacqueline Murphy. Thank you guys so much for being here on the show, on the Rico No Suave Talk Show.